Today, the Parliament of Uganda hasn't been able to accomplish all its tasks as indicated on the order paper. This came after the woman member of Parliament for Bukoma Simbi raised a point about the return of the machete assassins in her area, an issue that needed a reaction from the Minister of Security.
All starts with threats contained in written anonymous letters dropped by unknown people in the area. These warning letters, which are written in Uganda, have triggered panic in the entire community as residents still recount fresh memories of those killed in similar attacks in the Greater Masaka region between 2017 and 2018.
The absence of the Minister of Security prompted the government chief whip, Thomas Tayebwa, to notify the House that he is to personally call on the minister to come and address the nation in this regard.
I'm going to relay this matter to the Minister of Security to coordinate with other agencies so that they link up with the honorables and then we ensure...
There's a procedure matter.
This, however, caused dissatisfaction among different members of Parliament about the consistent absenteeism of the ministers.
As ministers of Defence and Internal Affairs leave, the government chief whip to stagger on floor of Parliament keep asking for permission and referring for tomorrow. When we are talking of security of our people, which is a very, very important matter to this country. Therefore, Madam, I'm seeking a procedure matter, whether we are proceeding well.
In each ministry, there is more than one minister. I am surprised there is no Minister of Defense, no Minister of Security, no Minister Internal Affairs. So how are we going to run this country? When we have a skeleton, out of 82 ministers, we have only 5. How are we going to run this country?
Some of the members of Parliament have revealed that these ministers are always at the parliamentary canteen, yet the proceedings are going on, adding that some have been cited today at Parliament, though not in the parliamentary sittings.
When the ministers come to the appointments committee, they talk heaven and earth. We should not be getting answers after a member raising a matter of national importance. That I know that the clerk's office is aware of this and the ministers are informed. We should not be waiting for another week because these are matters that need urgent attention.
I've seen several ministers within the precincts of Parliament. When you walk in Parliament, the ministers are not here. Right, Honourable Speaker, I think this Parliament and this House should take a strong, deliberate decision that some ministers must just attend Parliament because they are around. I've seen several ministers outside. There are some are in the canteen, right, Honourable Speaker. I saw them with my naked eyes. And I'm speaking, you know, I'm NRM, you know, I'm a backbench parliamentary commissioner, and I'm not against the ministers. Let ministers attend plenary and we respond to matters of this country.
This prompted the Deputy Speaker of Parliament to adjourn today's meeting to next week.
The particular issue of killings has been everywhere in the public and private media.
Honorable, I don't want us to go to the substantive discussion.
Certainly, I'm moving to the
My
issue.
issue is one. I want the ministers in the House. Short of that, I am adjourning the House.
Right, Honorable, that's where I'm moving. Thank you.
I adjourn the House to Tuesday next week.
The government chief whip, Thomas Tayebwa, has argued that ministers usually have a lot of duties to execute, and that could be the reason for their failure to attend today's meeting.
Can get frustrated. But what is very clear is we had to develop a LOTA. Okay? We are allocated on around 60 MPs to attend, including ministers, because in the House we agreed that we have in on 100 people. So what we were doing now is to ensure that every minister who has an issue on the order paper attends. Those who don't have issues, they don't have where to sit. The place is full. If we had 4 SOPs, for example, the other day I had ministers in the corridors, you know, Some of them, I tell them to wait in the canteen.
He later on accepted that these ministers intentionally ignore parliamentary proceedings and promised to report this issue to the Prime Minister of Uganda.
I also admit that on several occasions, ministers don't come. And I think this serves them a lesson that indeed, when you don't come here, you know, the world is watching, the country is watching, and you can frustrate national programs. So I'm going to immediately go report to the Prime Minister and inform the President about this so that we, as ministers, will ensure we are always available.
Some members of parliament have spoken about what transpired today.
Look, to go into the house, they were nowhere to be seen. Preliminary started. After then, all the questions were heading to the ministers to answer these questions. So at the end of the day, the Speaker could not proceed. Reason being, the heads of these questions to answer questions are not around. So it is justified, really. If not, they should resign anyway.
Very sad. It's very, very unfortunate that out of 82 ministers, there were just only 5 ministers. They have to bear. They are enjoying government at the taxpayers' money, but they are doing nothing. They come here just to go in canteen instead of coming to plenaries to listen to the problems from the honorables. Me, I had an issue of Butalang Weather Center 2 doesn't have electricity. The water system is not working. The medical facility, medical workers, they are crying because of different problems.
The Parliament of Uganda is set to resume its proceedings next week, and these will be presided over by the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Jacob Olanya.
I informed you about the Right Honorable Speaker, Jacob Olanya, and I'd already told you that he's back in the country and ready to start working. From next week, he will be chairing the House.
This is not the first time ministers miss parliamentary proceedings, as the same issue was cited in the 10th Parliament under the leadership of Honorable Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, which always prompted her to adjourn some proceedings because of absenteeism of the ministers. This story has been compiled by Issa Chigongo for Channel 44 Prime News.